Hi everyone, my name's Christina Taylor from Christina Taylor Books, and I'm here today to share with you this wonderful book, Unipiggle. This is written by Hannah Shaw, and this is the first book in the trilogy, and well, it's a trilogy so far, and this is called Unicorn Muddle. It's fizzing with imagination, that's one of the reviews. Now, what I love about this fiction title, it's early Key Stage 2, so it's perfect for a Year 3 or a Year 4 student, but I also think it would be suitable for a really able Year 2 child. And it's absolutely beautiful. So you open the book and there's a little description of the princess, but she's no ordinary princess. She's girly and princessy, but she's also powerful and interesting and strong. She's not like your typical princess. At the beginning, we have a map, which is brilliant for helping the children to imagine where they are in the story and really get themselves in the zone when they're reading. And then we have beautiful illustrations throughout the whole title, which will keep even the most reluctant of readers engaged. So it's a really grown-up book because it's a chapter book, but the chapters are really short and full of colour. In the beginning, we have the rules of the kingdom, the rules that you have to follow from the Queen and King. And then we have chapter 1, which I'm going to read to you now. Princess Peony Peachkin's Primrose Pollyanna Posh, or Princess P for short, was rudely woken by a rather lovely dream about her unicorn-to-be. Her mummy, Queen Bee, whose real name was also long and silly, had thrown open the curtains and was now humming loudly while doing her morning stretches. Princess P wiggled down under the sheets and pretended not to hear her. "Darling, do get up," trilled the Queen from her downward dog pose. "It's time for yoga. You have such a busy schedule. And the unicorn parade is this afternoon." Princess P poked her head out of the sheets and saw a new schedule had been pinned on her notice board. Sunday, Princess P's perfect schedule. Very early wake up, early stretchy yoga, brush your teeth, brush your hair, singing lessons, panpipe lessons, dance lessons, ballet, healthy breakfast, indoor riding lesson, art lesson, swimming lesson, change into best frilly frock for unicorn parade, healthy lunch, unicorn parade, please don't be late, dinner, formal celebration banquet, bath, bed. Everyone in the royal palace and the magical kingdom of Twinkleland had been looking forward to the unicorn parade for months. Princess P was the only member of the royal family who had learnt to ride. Queen Bee secretly hated being out of control. The King Barry just preferred to poodle around on his shiny golden bicycle. The princess currently rode a wooden unicorn. Her riding lesson had been tricky, and every week she'd dismount with splinters in her bottom. The Queen had declared that the princess now needed a real unicorn, and only the best would do. There would be a special parade. Unicorns from all over the kingdom would compete to become the first ever royal unicorn. A noble steed, a stylish mascot, and most importantly to Princess P, her loyal companion, also known as her sidekick. Princess P was very excited about getting her own unicorn. She'd never actually met a real unicorn so close up before, but she had imagined the kind of fun and freedom she was going to have with her special four-legged friend. Princess P looked at her schedule again and groaned. There wasn't any time to do the things that she wanted to do. "Mummy, wouldn't it be nice if I could have the morning off?" "Nonsense," tutted the Queen. "Princesses can't be lazy. They are supposed to work very hard to be perfectly poised and particularly pleasing all the time. Now jump out of bed, it's yoga o'clock." After leading Princess P through her stretches, Queen Bee went off to find her next victims, the palace pixies. She loved to boss them around. Another lovely picture. The royal family was small, but Twinkleland Palace was enormous. Princess P thought it seemed far too big for just the King and Queen and herself. The hundreds of rooms, turrets and corridors were kept immaculate by lots of pixies who had been hired for their impressive cleaning skills. Every single pixie obeyed the rules without question, and they never complained. They swept, polished and squidgied day and night, even though Princess P had never been in half the rooms. And it wasn't only the palace pixies who worked hard. Almost everyone else in the Kingdom of Twinkleland did all they could to meet the high standards expected by Queen Bee. 100% perfection. Everyone, that is, except Princess P. As soon as Princess P was alone, she belly flopped back onto her bed and lay there for a moment, hatching an alternative plan for the day. Then, still wearing her pyjamas, she went out to her balcony and breathed in the sweet fresh air. It was a typical Twinkleland morning. The whole of the kingdom was bathed in golden sunlight from the distant mountains to the nearby rooftops of Twinkletown. And she counted at least 5 rainbows. Drifting up from the palace garden below came the sounds of tinkling fountains, buzzing honeybees and birds crooning harmonious love songs. Just beyond the sparkling palace gates, on the far side of the turquoise moat, a herd of hopeful unicorns with shimmering coats had already arrived for the parade and were grazing in the specially chosen unicorn meadow. The trouble with living somewhere so sunshiny was that it was nearly always too nice to stay indoors. The princess's own plan for the day was to sneakily skip her lessons. She was sure her teachers wouldn't really mind. Now the princess liked yoga and singing, riding practice, dancing, swimming and art. She even liked playing the panpipes, although she preferred the drums. But she found her daily schedule a slog. Being perfect was tiring. All the princess's teachers were masters of their subjects, but they were utterly bamboozled by Princess P. She sang far too loudly, danced wildly, dive-bombed splashily, and her paintings were very splattery. In fact, Princess P's favourite lesson was gardening, mainly because she got to be outside, climbing trees, digging holes, and getting wonderfully muddy. The Queen and King despaired. She will not listen. She does not obey orders, and she's always grubby. So instead of going to the singing room for her first lesson of the day, Princess P pulled on her wellies, untangled the rope ladder, and she kept hidden under her bed. Then she chucked it over the balcony and escaped. And then the story carries on as they prepare for the parade. And the illustrations are just absolutely beautiful. The parade obviously happens, and it isn't what you expect. And this is how you can imagine where Unipiggle becomes involved. Unipiggle is a cross between can you guess? Yes, a pig and a unicorn. So this princess is supposed to be perfect and prim and proper, but she's actually wonderfully wild and fun and interesting. So this is a really fun book. I'm not going to give away any spoilers of the fun that Princess P and Unipiggle get up to, but it is hilarious. So this is perfect for a really able Year 2 and absolutely wonderful for Year 3 or Year 4 students that enjoy some brightly coloured, beautiful fiction. Okay. The other 2 books in the series are Dragon Trouble and Mermaid Mayhem, which are also available now. And these books are $5.99 each. What a bargain.